The summer season seems to have reached its peak here in the Pacific Northwest, and it feels like fall is eagerly getting its foot in the door and preparing to make its grand entrance. Though maybe that's due to all the pumpkin and squash vines I have sprawling out in our backyard and garden at the moment. I will say it's really starting to look like a pumpkin patch around this place. At any rate, I wanted to give you all an updated tour of our backyard and garden space as we're coming up on 1 year since moving into our duplex. A lot has changed and grown around here, so let's get into it, starting with a look at the yard before I made any major changes. The yard that initially started out as a big blank canvas currently has a variety of spaces that are more clearly defined. Some are still in transition, like the side of the house, which is temporarily home to the compost pile, and the dry creek bed along the back fence. And there are a handful of projects that need finishing touches, such as the dog's shade deck and a gate to enclose the area, and the metal roof for the firewood rack I built out of upcycled lumber. Because the space was so new to me, I got started making these defined spaces without a real plan. So as I observed how we moved throughout and utilized the space, I did quite a lot of rearranging. But I have since come up with a more long-term plan for the layout and function of the space that will continue to guide my designing and planting and minimize any redundant work, which, believe me, I've done a lot of this summer. So rather than having an enclosed garden jutting out from the center of the house, I decided to align the wire fencing with the back deck and stretch it along the whole backside of the house for ease of movement around the backyard and closest proximity to the kitchen as I could get. It's really nice being able to go outside, pick some lettuce, some herbs, and bring them in to make a salad or put them on your sandwich. So this spring and summer, I just wanted things to grow anywhere and everywhere I could, so I didn't plan or mark any of my plantings. Most of the flowers and plants that popped up have felt as though I stumbled upon a pleasant surprise. But as things grow, I'm gaining insight and clarity around the best planting arrangements for next season, and I look forward to optimizing my designated growing spaces when spring rolls around. Definitely won't be putting giant squash plants or pumpkins in this garden area. In order to keep costs down with all my little projects I've been working on, I've tried to be as resourceful as I can by using materials we already have on hand or that I can source for free or really low prices. I've used all the rocks I dug up, which was a ton, to create a dry creek bed and redesign the fire pit. I also used the trunk and large branches from the tree we had cut down in our front yard to make garden bed borders. It wasn't until after the fact that I realized I should have used the same materials from our tree, but from the tree that we had cut down on the other unit side. And that was done about a week or two before ours, so I wish I was thinking ahead. But it was just one of those reminders to always be on the lookout for opportunities to source useful materials that others will be discarding as mere waste. The dry creek bed area still has a long way to go, but it stemmed from my original idea to create a wildlife pond out of all the rocks I was digging up. My few attempts at making the pond were unsuccessful due to not having a proper pond liner, so for now I've made a small bird bath with the fountain pump I got for the pond. A handful of birds visited the pond when it was full, which I loved to see. It was really exciting and encouraging, but none have discovered the bird bath yet. And it's been up for close to a month now. As the area becomes more enclosed by plants, though, I think that will offer birds more privacy from our dogs and us moving around in the backyard, and hopefully it will entice them to come down for a visit and it may become a frequented spot. I sure hope it does. Gardening is perhaps one of the most gratifying activities you could engage in. I know it is for me. After prepping your soil, you plant some seeds. You pull up competing weeds and water this seemingly lifeless soil with great care, sometimes for weeks before seeing your first sprout of green leaves above the surface. With a watchful eye and consistency watering, those little sprouts grow, each with unique characteristics. Some will behave nicely, become strong, tall, and put out flowers that soon become fruit. Others will be more enthusiastic and take off in all directions, doing as they please, in turn requiring more management. Consider it a tax for the good fruits it will provide. And still others will need different attention or support, sometimes communicating that it's in the wrong place at the wrong time, or hanging out with a problematic crowd of other plants or pests. Gardening indeed offers a well-rounded experience as you're invited in to participate and spectate. If you're new to gardening, I encourage you to keep your expectations low, like below ground level low. Sometimes those seeds you plant don't actually sprout. Other times your approach will be off, and perhaps a lack of sun, shade, water, or nutrients in your soil will become your teacher. Whatever happens in the garden, be ready to observe, learn from the plants and others with experience, and make adjustments. The happiest gardens have found the balance between your hands-on involvement and stepping back to watch nature take its course. Whether you're just getting started or have been gardening for years at any level, the satisfaction and enjoyment you gain from a stroll through the garden to plan, prep, and plant, to check on things, take notes, and work out problems, prune or tie back this or that, to water and pull weeds, or admire the intricate flowers and their dance with the bees, bugs, and butterflies, this is a deeper nourishment than even your harvest can fulfill. At times I wonder if it's really worth it to spend my time gardening, especially if the harvest is small, like in these beginning days of setting up a new garden. But then I think about all these other benefits and the fact that I'm having fun, getting exercise, and growing in knowledge, and I'm reminded how silly that thought is. What's more, seeing others enjoy my gardening space and appreciate the beauty of what's growing or being delighted by a colorful bouquet of fresh cut flowers reinforces the idea that gardening holds great potential for building community and strengthening interpersonal connections. Gardening and landscaping on a budget is perhaps the most fun of all, as it offers an opportunity to stretch your creativity, test your patience, and challenge your resourcefulness. This area is one of the first I set out to create for our dogs, and it's slowly but surely coming together with minimal impact to my wallet. It even looks more lively now that the zinnia, cosmos, and sunflowers have bloomed, and my lavender is establishing quite well.
What are we about to pull up out of the garden?
A turnip!
Alright, let's see how it is. Show us which one you want to pull up.
The ginormous one, so we can cut it in half, and I'll share it.
Okay, which one though? There's how many over here?
3.
There's 3 over here. Sadie, which one do we want to pull up?
That one.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's big.
Oh, baby. Sadie, look, do you see this?
Bad boy.
That's a big boy, huh?
Big boy.
Want to put the big boy?
Yeah. Pick up the big boy.
See if we
Can
can
I-
get a good grip on it.
Can I have the big one so all by myself and you just wash it out here?
Yeah, we can wash it with the hose. Oh.
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm going to turn on the hose and spray that. Mom,
Wow.
I'm turning on the hose and spraying that bad boy. Watch out, Sadie. You're gonna get wet.
Get that, Sadie girl. Okay, get the water up on here while I'm rubbing it.
Stop. Sadie, stop. Stop it, Sadie.
Sadie, can you clean this?
Yeah.
Tell her what to do instead.
You're doing it. Good job. Good job.
It's got like 3 roots on there. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like the turnip?
I like the turnip. It's yucky.
Alright, give it a shot.
Take a bite.
Take a bite. Not so good. Let's see.
Oh, he's biting it off.
Max? Get a boy. Get a boy.
Bear, Max. Bear,
There you
come
go.
eat it.
Get some.
Ooh, he loves that thing, huh?
Let's see if he wants to take it. Yep. I'll take it over this way.
He's like, I love this turnip. Ma! Come on, let's eat the turnip. Go! Ma! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good boy.
Whoa!
Both girls have grown just as much as the plants in our garden this summer, and we've been having a good time playing in the water, eating lots of tasty snacks like this combo of green grapes, cucumber, and watermelon, and working on projects together like the firewood rack, our compost area on the side of the house, and our workbench in the garden. If you're interested in seeing the workbench come together, check out my video up in the cards and in the description box below. This was a really fun project for me. While I'm here just organizing, I'd appreciate if you took a moment to subscribe to this channel, like the video if you've enjoyed so far, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new uploads. I really love reading your comments too and hearing about your gardening aspirations and experiences. This next part of the video is one that I am totally thrilled about. Back in early June, I was out for a walk when I was captivated by this plant growing in a neighboring neighborhood. The front yard was quite overgrown, so I couldn't tell if this was a tree or bush or what in the world. I really couldn't tell. But because our backyard has no shade, I thought, oh, how wonderful it would be to have a pretty plant like this one in the space to liven it up and offer some shade. By the end of the month, I was strolling in our own neighborhood and saw a sapling of the same bush or tree growing next to the sidewalk. I eagerly pulled it up and brought it home to put in the ground. There weren't any good roots on it when I kind of yanked it up out of the ground, so it wasn't too surprising when it started to wither. I've been using my phone's plant ID feature a ton lately, and I learned that this is a royal purple smoke tree. And look at those colors. Oh, isn't it beautiful? They're stunning and put on quite a show, especially in autumn when the leaves change colors. The last time I checked, the sapling had little roots growing, so we will see how things turn out for this fine specimen. But fast forward 2 months and I was totally stoked when I spotted not 1, but 2 smoke tree saplings growing within 10 feet of the one that I had planted. Their leaves are green right now, so I'm not sure if they're the royal purple variety, but what a gift. I used some leftover wire fencing to make a small cage to put around this one so it doesn't get lost in the vegetation or trampled. These trees make me think of the scene in Jonah where the Bible says, "The Lord God prepared a plant and made it come up over Jonah, that it might be shade for his head, to deliver him from his misery." So Jonah was very grateful for the plant. I just pray he doesn't prepare for it the worm. Remember how I said I've been using Plant ID a lot? Well, I've been having so much fun that I created a photo album called Weeds and Things with different plants I'm finding in our area and yard. It helped me to learn that the vigorous plant growing on our property is actually an invasive species called Japanese knotweed. If you have this plant growing anywhere on your property, I encourage you to do research on its removal and management prior to touching it at all, as it can resprout from fragments left behind in the soil or scattered on the ground. When identifying plants, I like to see if they are edible, have medicinal or culinary uses, and determine whether or not they're fine to let grow, or if it would be better to pull it up. Since gardening, my perspective of weeds has transformed from pesky to purposeful in most situations. It's neat being able to identify plants that many people consider useless weeds and enlightening others to their benefits or perhaps invasive tendencies. So yes, I've become that gardener who now grows with intention, select weeds. Lamb's quarter pops up all over our yard in areas where I've removed grass, but thankfully it's easy to identify and pull up. It has a variety of medicinal benefits and even acts as a trap plant for garden pests. So I've let a few grow tall over the summer before pulling them. Lady's thumb also shows up in different places around our yard, but it's pretty easy to pull the whole root, so I just do that wherever she isn't welcome. Knowing the uses of plants like this stout patch of marsh cudweed could be beneficial in apocalyptic scenarios. It may not be the most useful weed around at the moment, but that's not to say it couldn't be if you had access to minimal resources. A few evening primrose plants even popped up in the fenced garden, and one just started blooming the other day. Oil extracted from the seeds has many applications and benefits, but I just learned that the syrups made from the flowers and tea from the leaves could be helpful to whooping cough and asthma conditions. I will definitely be keeping this plant around, but moving it to a different area where it can do its thing while still being manageable. The pretty yarrow has gone wild in the backyard and is another one of those plants that I won't try to eliminate or mow down altogether. Rather, I will let it grow freely in designated areas. I was delighted when I found succulent purslane draping over a log in the garden. It's one of those plants you're sure to have seen in various places without giving it much thought. I had heard of purslane before, but never knew what it looked like until now, and I'm certainly treasuring it. What would summer, gardening, and childhood be without all the cute, creepy, and fascinating critters? This last part of the video is a segment I like to call the Critter Watch, a time to look back and reflect on the quiet, exciting, and squirmy encounters with nature's helpers, like the hummingbird that flew in to feed on the abundance of vibrant and fragrant nasturtium blooms. Or the summer dry grasshoppers and stealthy dragonflies perched in the garden. Even the first wiggly worm seen inching across your soil in the raised garden bed, informing you that the soil is indeed teeming with life, and the friendly spiders hanging out and striking the balance. It was a joy to see dozens of friendly ladybugs, big beetles flaunting metallic pink stripes as they stumbled across the earth, and iridescent green bees stealing the show. And of course, the countless varieties of bees, hoverflies, and flutterbys joining the pollinator party hop across all the scattered flower patches. I want little more than for our backyard to feel like home to pollinators, pets, and people alike, and this summer definitely felt like a step in the right direction. So I'll keep planting seeds and seeing what blooms. As we say goodbye to summer, I want to say thank you for watching this video and all the others I posted this season. I hope you will leave a comment sharing what you enjoyed most about this video or some of your own summer gardening experiences. Liking this video helps me to reach more people with my content and gives me an idea of what you love to see here on this channel. Most importantly, click subscribe so you don't miss when I post new videos. With things slowing down in the garden, I will be switching gears into sharing about some of my other passions and interests, including fascinating iridology and holistic health insights. This is Alexis signing off for now. Take care until next time, my friends.